bit, if you can, about your background and how you kind of got where you are. And
actually going to University of Pittsburgh, aerospace engineering.
Right.
In the early 80s, the aerospace industry was not doing very well. I enlisted into the military right after the Beirut bombing
Right.
in 1983. I've lived in Southern California, Northern California, throughout the Midwest, and then again on the East Coast. We're really pleased with Philadelphia from, sort of the weather, the balance of the weather, where we live, the proximity to a variety of various cultural and social things that we can do, recreational things. So it seems to be working out very well for us. I have 3 daughters. Matter of fact, my youngest is actually visiting me here. The first half of my career was spent as an individual contributor, right, working on technology, whether it be networking or system security programming. And that was a result of my being in the military, working on some technology solutions for them throughout the world. And so it gave me sort of an insight into what technology could do.
Which do you rather? Would you rather have all your team in the same place, or would you rather the global kind of project?
I think it depends on what the company's needs are. I don't specifically have a preference. I think you need to make sure you have the right management team within technology in order to effectively manage a distributed team.
Well, it sounds also like you had a mentor, which was very good for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think everyone at some point, mentors will change, right? As you evolve in your career, the person that helped you get from one point to the other may not be the right person to get you to the next point, right? I remember, Manoj George, he was the CFO of Red Hat and took them public. He was a mentor of mine for quite a while, and I had already been the CTO at that point, right? So it was, how do I ensure that I'm continually evolving my skill set, even though I think I've hit the highest level that I could attain within the tech side of the house? How do I now translate that to me having more of a business impact from an operations perspective or a finance perspective or sales perspective, right? So that I can help my peer group, right, be more effective. I think that's sort of an indication of all kinds of things in life, right? You're going to make mistakes and you have to learn from them. And I think too many people look at that as failure, and as a result, they go back to doing, okay, I'm going to be an individual contributor again because I suck as a manager, versus learning. Right, learning is trial and trial and error. Right, again, it goes back to Thomas Edison. 10,000 times he tried to do the light bulb, and then finally it worked. Right, he didn't stop after the first one. He didn't stop after the 100th one. Right, if you have perseverance and you're willing to educate yourself, I think you can always improve and become the person you want to be. But I think you have to be vulnerable and self-aware along the way.
What else would come to mind for you, Ralph?
Surrounding myself with people far smarter than me, right? I think it goes back to the same thing as, as a new manager is, well, I don't need someone with that skill set because I'm the guy that knows it, so let me go find something else, right? It's always telling yourself, you know what, there's another way to do it. There's someone else that should be there, and it's finding those talented folks and not allowing your own prejudice or experiences to blind you to someone's capabilities, right? One is I'm a firm believer in being a servant leader. I think people get caught up with their egos and their pride and so forth and think, okay, I'm now in this position. It's beholden to me to come up with all the right answers and, sink or swim. I'm going to make the decision, and ultimately, if push comes to shove, it'll be up to me. All of that encompasses being a servant leader by passing the authority and the ability to make a decision to someone else. It doesn't have to be you. Most of the time, you're relying on a bunch of other people behind you, right, that are supporting you or under you, holding you up. I mean, I think being humble is very important, using that term, right? And again, communication is very important. Empathy is very important. But be humble. Don't act superior to anyone in your role, right? Been influenced by a specific event in my life. When I was in the military, I was injured. I was in a coma for quite a while, so forth. Coming out of that experience, I had to draw from that experience, right? I had to accept the fact that I had limitations. I had to accept the fact that I was not able to do the things that I either wanted to do or used to be able to do. And so that's what formed me as a manager to be a servant leader, to look for self-directed teams, to rely on other people and trust other people. I took the best qualities of when I was growing up playing team sports, being in the military, relying on people. Team, loyalty, honesty, and trust are really what make teams high performing.